This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, around 300 people gathered to show solidarity in the face of Grace Mullane's death. It's official, All Black and Highlanders outside back Ben Smith will leave New Zealand. And around 250 Queenstown residents are set to receive a Christmas boost. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Sophie Morris. You Are My Sunshine was the last song sung at a vigil for slain English tourist Grace Mullane in Dunedin's Octagon last night. Around 300 people gathered to hear speakers, share sadness and show solidarity in the face of Miss Mullane's death.
Right now, at vigils all around Aotearoa, New Zealand, communities are paying tribute to Grace.
Dunedin people standing in solidarity at a vigil for slain English tourist Grace Mullane in the Octagon last night. Candles were then lit near an impromptu shrine bearing photographs of Mullane.
So I think myself and a lot of people around Aotearoa, New Zealand felt a lot of grief, shock and shame at the death of Grace Mullane. And our hearts absolutely go out to her family.
She says women have a right to be safe and free from this kind of horrible tragedy.
I think that everyone should be safe in Aotearoa, whether they are visitors or people living here, and unfortunately that's not always the case.
The names of other women killed in New Zealand this year were also read out. Flowers were placed nearby, and among notes were the messages "Fly Free Angels" and "Love and Light."
We have also honoured the other 13 women who unfortunately died through violence in New Zealand in 2018.
Dunedin Mayor Dave Cull told the vigil he felt bitter, deep shame when he heard Mullane's body had been found near Auckland. He says he also felt shame this was yet another crime which had been inflicted on a woman by a man.
If we want things to change, we must change.
In Dunedin, the South Today.
Plans are on track to relaunch the historic Kingston Flyer steam train, which has been off the rails since 2013. Blenheim-based Pounamu Tourism Group is leasing the Kingston train from investors who purchased it last year. The tourism group successfully launched the Marlborough Flyer steam train between Picton and Blenheim a year ago. Owner Paul Jackson says investors are excited about restoring the train to its former glory. He says, all going well, the Flyer will be operating again on the Kingston to Fairlight line by November next year. It's official, Ben Smith is leaving. The All Black and Highlanders outside back has signed with French club Pau and leaves New Zealand after next year's Rugby World Cup.
He's been a crowd favourite for Otago, Highlanders and All Blacks fans since he burst onto the scene in 2007. But over a decade since he made his first-class debut, Ben Smith is set to leave New Zealand rugby. The announcement via social media this morning ending months of speculation.
Hey team, just thought I'd let you know that my family and I are heading over to France at the end of next year. It's been a tough decision, but we're looking forward to a new challenge.
French media reported yesterday a deal had been signed with Pau. That was confirmed today by both the Highlanders and New Zealand Rugby. Smith's enjoying some time away from the field at the moment, taking some time out with his family in Wanaka.
We think it's a good time for us as a family to go over there and experience something new, a new challenge, and we're looking forward to it.
Smith has played 76 tests for the All Blacks and 144 games for the Highlanders so far, but at 32 the question was when, not if.
It's going to be sad, we're going to miss Dunedin, but we'll be back at some point. We're real thankful for all the support we've got, but looking forward to a big 2019 and what that brings.
No doubt he'd like it to bring another Super Rugby title for the Highlanders and a third successive World Cup for the All Blacks, and maybe even a 50th appearance for his beloved Green Island Grizzlies. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A Wakatipu Climbers Bible is set to be launched in Queenstown tomorrow. Queenstown Rock, Ice and Boulders contains detailed descriptions of more than 1,300 climbs, including rock, ice and boulder routes. The book has been written by Queenstown Climbing Club founder Guillaume Charton, who says it took over 2.5 years to complete as he had to review every climb. He says there's information on how to access each climb, what flora and fauna is in the area and its climbing history. Staying in Queenstown, Around 250 residents are set to receive a Christmas boost tomorrow afternoon, thanks to the generosity of the resort community. Around 30 volunteers have been busy collecting donations and nominations for this year's Baskets of Blessings project.
Baskets of Blessings for those in need. Now in its 6th year, a community group initiative aims to help those in need by delivering a special festive basket. Founder Tam Sherman says it's all about people in the resort town helping others.
So Baskets of Blessings was started 6 years ago now and is a community support group. It's really people from the community supporting other people in the community, whatever needs there are, whether they're emotional, financial, circumstantial. There's no judgment and we don't turn down any nominations at all.
The group helps people facing a huge range of issues, from young mums suffering postnatal depression to elderly people who may have just left hospital. Sherman says the baskets contain more than just physical products.
And those go out just as a gesture of support from the community, and we also provide practical support through our Let's Eat project, which is frozen, nutritious family meals, as well as house cleaning and gardening for those who are really going through a time of crisis.
She says with housing and other costs increasing in the most expensive place to buy real estate in New Zealand, they're seeing more and more people needing help.
It's a growing population in Queenstown, so I think there's more people, and with more people come more problems, and of course the increasing housing costs and other financial stresses certainly contribute to some of the problems and the need that we're seeing.
Friday will be a family affair for volunteer Charlotte Winkle, who says it's great to be part of a team.
And being around other like-minded people who are giving their time or their money or their gifts or donations or whatever it is, it's just really cool to be a part of that.
The group says anyone wanting to help put the baskets together can head to St John's Church in Arrowtown from 9 a.m. tomorrow, or help with deliveries in the afternoon. In Queenstown, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, we catch up with Otago Professor Robert Patman, who has the latest on the UK's Brexit situation.
Hi folks, it's me again. My friend Lindsay at Alex Campbell Menswear and all his team in the 3 stores, Mosgiel, South Dunedin and Cromwell, wish you a Merry Christmas. It's a wee message from him. And from me, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Spring is here and it's time to get in the garden. Ready Lawn will take care of your lawn needs, making lawn care a snap. They will install the perfect lawn while you plant your favourite flowers and vegetables. Call Ready Lawn today so you can enjoy the coming season.
It's always really satisfying when a customer comes back after doing a purchase of outdoor furniture and knowing that we've got it done right.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
My Els and I just love coming to Alex Campbell's. That's my favourite shop. I always get good value here, and good boys really deserve good brands and good quality. Look at these tees. Local beaches on some of them too. This is only for the good boys, the old boys, the young boys. What about some bright shorts for the boys? Excellent.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Need to rent an EFTPOS? Whether it's just a week or the whole season, maybe a pop-up store, a concert or event, Anything's POS have equipment available to suit your needs for retail and hospitality with local support. To rent, lease or buy, contact Anything's POS.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
It's that time of year. It's time to get into the garden and it's time to get your weed eater down here at the Power Garden Department at Andersons Bay Road. This year it's all about the cordless weed eater. Come down and see us at Mitre 10 Mega and we'll help you get it done right.
Welcome back. Otago University's Professor Robert Patman says New Zealand needs to be voicing concerns about illegal activities that occurred during the United Kingdom's Brexit vote. In the latest episode of Global Insight, ODT journalist Bruce Munro asks Professor Patman about the constitutional mess the UK finds itself in.
Welcome, I'm Bruce Munro. With me is International Relations Specialist Professor Robert Patman, and this is Global Insight. It's the messiest, most publicised divorce of the decade, Brexit. The United Kingdom is struggling to get a separation agreement with the European Union, and one of the key sticking points seems to be the so-called backstop deal. Welcome, Robert.
Good morning, Bruce.
What is this backstop deal that people are so up in arms about?
The backstop deal is essentially a safety net to ensure that Britain remains, and Northern Ireland remains, in the customs union until a definitive trade agreement is made between the EU and a post-Brexit Britain. And what should be explained here is that this is a way of avoiding a hard border between the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland.
So does everybody want this backstop deal?
Oh no. In many respects, it's seen by both the Remainers and particularly the Leave camp as undesirable. For the die-hard Brexiteers, they see this, they have grave concerns that Britain is going to be locked into the customs union almost indefinitely. And that is, from their point of view, the whole point of leaving is so that Britain could negotiate its own trade deals. This would prevent that.
I imagine that a lot's going on behind the scenes at the moment. What do you guess is going on behind the scenes?
Well, what we know in the last 24 hours is that the no dealers, as they sometimes call, that's the European Research Group, the hardline Brexiteers, have passed a motion of no confidence, and that led to a vote within the 1922 committee. And I think we've just learned that Mrs May has survived that vote. But at the end of the day, Britain is in a constitutional mess. It's become the laughingstock of the world in many respects. Why? Because the EU, a group of liberal democracies, 27 countries, have already indicated that they will not change the deal, which led to the motion of no confidence in Mrs May. Mrs May apparently has been reconfirmed as Prime Minister, but she has little prospect of getting any changes to the deal which is causing these convulsions. So it's a pretty messy situation at the moment.
Right. What about New Zealand? What does New Zealand stand to gain or lose depending on what happens?
I think New Zealand's plans for a free trade agreement with the EU will be uninterrupted by this process, and the New Zealand government has made it quite clear any free trade agreement with the EU takes priority over a free trade agreement with Britain. But I'm sure they will pursue a free trade agreement with Britain in due course. It's just that negotiating a free trade agreement with a single market of 520 million, the most prosperous single market in the world, takes priority over negotiating a free trade agreement of 65 million people. So I think in that sense, New Zealand, it will not be gravely affected. Its plans are well in train there. I think where New Zealand probably, and Canada and other liberal democracies need to perhaps think hard is whether they are comfortable about a referendum in which there have been clear breaches of law. And at the moment, the biggest donor to the referendum for the Leave side, Mr Aaron Banks, is under a national investigation by the National Crime Agency. He can't account for how he managed to donate £8 million to the Leave side. That meant, during the referendum, the Leave side overspent by 10% in a referendum which was decided by just 3.8%. It's incumbent on New Zealand and other liberal democracies to express concerns about the outcome of a referendum which was fundamentally flawed in legal terms. And sooner or later there are going to be some hard questions and perhaps criminal actions about what's happened.
Is New Zealand, is Canada, any of these other liberal democracies making any of those comments?
They may be doing them discreetly. Certainly academics like myself and Professor David Welsh have written both in Canadian newspapers and in New Zealand newspapers that this was an issue which is a matter of concern. After all, if you can't uphold the rule of the law in liberal democracy successfully, then everything else is at risk. And what we do know about the British referendum in 2016, not only was there illegal money involved, not only there was systematic data breaches, but there was also the prospect of Russian interference as well. So there is a lot of controversy around the EU referendum. Why hasn't Mrs May addressed these issues? Well, politically she has been the biggest beneficiary of the outcome of the referendum. She became Prime Minister.
Thank you for helping us unpick that, Robert.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Catch us next time on Global Insight. Slán Lat.
After the break on the South Today, we continue our look back at the major news events of 2018 and we check out the weather heading into the weekend.
What a wonderful year! No more neck pain, shoulders are great, back, all pain's gone. Sciatica, not a problem. What a great year my customers had. Happy New Year and see you in 2019.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
I just like it. It's something that you can see the fruits of your own labour. You put it right now, you don't have as much to do at Christmas. You come see me, Derek, in the garden department, and then we get it done right.
Every Kiwi deserves a reliable garage door. Rely on Garrador to protect your important stuff. Just like Darren. His Garrador keeps his favourite ride in mint condition. We have a huge range at affordable prices. Visit our website for a free consultation. We stand behind every door.
Want a bike to work but the wind and hills have gotten you down? Come in and see our team at Electrify 249 Cumberland Street. Tell us you saw this ad and we'll throw in a bell helmet and an Oxford lock for free. Sorted.
Firstly, happy Christmas to everybody. I just want you to spare a thought for those in our community who are in need at this time of year, and maybe keep an eye out for somebody that you can help over the Christmas period. My office is going to close from the 21st, Friday the 21st of December. It'll reopen on Monday the 14th of January, and in the meantime, please, all of you, have a great Christmas. Have a great time with your family and friends and take some time out.
Hello, it's Jeremy down here at Mighty 10 Mega in Andersons Bay. We've got 35 different lawnmowers down in our power garden department. We've got ride-on mowers, petrol mowers, battery operated mowers, push mowers. Did you know we've even got a robot, a little robot lawnmower that pops out during the day when you're at work or play. It'll pop out and mow your lawn. So come down and see me, Jeremy, down in the power garden department at Mighty 10 Mega in Andersons Bay Road, where we'll help you get it done right first time.
My Els and I just love coming to Alex Campbell's. That's my favourite shop. I always get good value here, and good boys really deserve good brands and good quality. Look at these tees. Local beaches on some of them too. This is only for the good boys, the old boys, the young boys. What about some bright shorts for the boys? Excellent.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Welcome back. In the lead up to Christmas, we're taking a look back at the news over the last 12 months. June saw winter settling in with hoarfrost in central Otago and ski fields opening earlier than expected. Dunedin Hospital opened a new gastroenterology unit, and the defunct Fortune Theatre sold its wardrobe and auctioned off a number of other assets.
Winter made itself felt with a harsh but beautiful hoarfrost in central Otago blanketing the willows around the historic bridge near Ophir. The frost was followed by a thick blanket of snow across much of the region, which held up traffic and saw Dunedin's hill suburb schools delaying the start of their day. In Bluff, oyster farmers were still recovering following the removal of millions of oysters after an outbreak of the deadly parasite Bernamia austrae. A former oyster farmer hid out at the Ministry for Primary Industries after his first compensation offer came back at just a fraction of his original claim.
22 cents on the dollar. And we've given them the information. We've supplied them with photographs. They're actually telling us that we couldn't have sold the amount of oysters we had. It doesn't even begin to address our company's situation in terms of what we owe.
While Dunedin was gearing up for the billion-dollar rebuild of the city's hospital, refurbishments were still happening in the current building. A new state-of-the-art gastroenterology unit was officially opened, with clinicians saying the new facility is a big step up.
It's a significant improvement on our previous facility, which means we can offer patients investigations which are generally invasive in a clinically appropriate area in a timely manner which maintains dignity and privacy.
Following an armed robbery of Dunedin's Musselburgh Dairy, police released images of the offenders. The man was brandishing a pistol or replica pistol and sported distinctive curved tattoos on his fingers. Half a year later, Andre William Goddard was sentenced to 6 years jail for multiple dairy heists around Dunedin, with Cheyenne Marie Oliver Baker getting 3.5 years. Work continued on refurbishing Dunedin's Ross Creek Reservoir, capping the top of the dam with a wave wall.
This concrete wave wall will act as a protection for if there's waves in the reservoir caused by wind, and it will stop the waves coming over the top of the dam and causing damage to it.
Following the closure of Dunedin's Fortune Theatre, a new temporary home was found for its huge wardrobe collection. The City Council, Friends of the Fortune and a private donor stumped up the cash to purchase the collection.
We put money together, we were able to purchase it from the Fortune Board, and now it's essentially our guardianship until we find a new home for theatre in Dunedin.
And an auction was held in the theatre to sell off numerous props and pieces of technical equipment and even a Ralph Hotary artwork. Organisers said the public was showing a lot of interest.
I think for that it'll be interesting what happens with the lighting equipment and any specialty items, but then there also might be people interested in picking up memorabilia in the form of old props from plays and stuff like that.
The Hotary was later withdrawn from the auction. In sport, the All Blacks played their third test against France in Dunedin in June. Among the run-on 15, 32-year-old Sonny Bill Williams, who was recovering from keyhole surgery to his knee.
The doctor said it was a success. It was actually, a lot better than expected. And then coach turned to the doctor and said, well, is there a chance of playing in the third test or, being available for selection? Doc said, yeah, but he's got to come into camp. So he looked at me and said, you're in camp. So I rang my wife. I told her. She was a little bit upset because we planned things to do, but back in there.
The game saw Williams play until a shoulder injury forced him to retire in the second half. And in Wanaka, the Treble Cone ski area opened 5 days earlier than planned due to good early falls of snow. The offer of a free champagne breakfast encouraged about 30 skiers and snowboarders to the field well before dawn to claim a place on the first chairlift. To cap off the field's opening weekend, 10 centimetres of fresh snow fell the previous day, with plenty more expected.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Around 300 people gathered to hear speakers share sadness and show solidarity in the face of Grace Mullane's death. All Black and Highlanders outside back Ben Smith has signed with French club Pau and will leave New Zealand after next year's Rugby World Cup. And around 250 Queenstown residents are set to receive a Christmas boost thanks to the generosity of the resort community. And time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Craig.
Good evening. Yeah, we've got an interesting story about a new report released by the Auditor General's Office raising concerns about the standards of Dunedin's stormwater system. Dunedin's one of 3 cities that were audited as part of this report, and they're all found to have incomplete understanding of flood risks within their cities. That's the councils. It's suggesting DCC doesn't know about the condition of 90% of its stormwater system and has a lack of indication about watercourses and private drains as well. So some real concerns there. The council acknowledges that there are issues with stormwater and they're looking to work on them, but said it won't be a short-term fix. There's a lot of work to be done there. Big day in Dunedin tomorrow with Otago Polytechnic graduation. Record numbers, 1,580 people graduating tomorrow, so that's pretty cool for the city. We've got a lovely story about Kathy Howard, who's battled adversity through ill health and was also undiagnosed dyslexia as well, which was picked up while she was studying. She's going to graduate with a Bachelor of Social Services tomorrow, so that's pretty cool for her. We've also got an interview with Ben Smith about his move to France. And also big news tomorrow, Steve Hansen will be announcing whether he's going to continue as All Black coach or move on. Money suggests it's time to go, so it will be the end of an era. He's been involved with the All Blacks since 2004, so yeah, moving on.
All right, well, thank you, Craig. We'll see all of that and more in tomorrow's ODT. And time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mullane.
Tonight's southern view is of clouds and a blue sky. Looking at the situation, an easterly airflow is decreasing as weather systems around New Zealand weaken, but warmer weather arrives in time for the weekend. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect a cloudy day and a high of 23 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson you have a few showers and 21, while Blenheim it could also be a bit damp and 21 degrees for you. In Canterbury, a showery day for Kaikoura with a high of 18 degrees. Christchurch and Ashburton may have a few showers and highs of 18 to 19 degrees. Looking at the southern centres, Catlins, Balclutha, Gore and Lumsden are all in for moderate northeasterlies, some cloud and highs between 20 and 21 degrees. Heading westwards to central, light winds, showers with highs of 22 for Wanaka, 23 for Alexandra, 21 for Queenstown and moderate northeasterlies with 23 degrees for Tiana. Looking at the northern towns, Timaru and Oamaru can expect moderate northeasterlies, some cloud and 18 degree highs. Light winds, risk of showers for Omarama and Twizel, and you are both expecting 21 degrees. And in Dunedin, cloudy tonight with moderate northeasterlies, and you can expect an overnight low of 12 degrees. More cloud tomorrow, but some sunny periods may develop late in the day. 18 the high and a low of 12. Sunny periods and scattered cloud on Saturday, a high of 21 and a low of 13. Down to Invercargill, low cloud or mist tonight and an overnight low of 9. Mostly fine tomorrow, looking at a high of 20 and a low of 9. Saturday expect sunny periods, high cloud and light east to northeast winds, a high of 24 and a low of 12. That's all for our news this Thursday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz, channel39.co.nz and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.